Richmond for the Redskins. RG3, his first public comments. Let's go there live now. He's cleared to practice.
Your understanding of what the current plan is for your activity in training camp in the preseason, and what are your feelings about that plan?
Yeah, the current plan is just, patience is the key. So I did all I could in the off season, working out, rehabbing. I passed all my tests with Dr. Andrews, with the doctors for the Redskins, and with the coaching staff. So they just want to make sure that, we're not doing anything too soon that we don't have to do. So, let some of these other guys get ready for the preseason. If it comes around that, I'm ready to go, and, maybe the third preseason game. But as far as my understanding goes, preseason's really not even in the air. It's not a worry at all. I feel like I can play. I think Coach feels like I can play without any preseason. So there's no need really for that. But patience is the key. And like I said, I've done everything I can. So I'm just going to work myself back into it. And it just feels good to be back out there with the guys.
Robert, you tweeted that you'd been medically cleared, that you'd be eased in. Can you just define that a little bit more than 140 characters? What does eased in mean, really, as far as practices?
Yeah, it basically means I'm going to have the opportunity to throw to everyone. I won't be limited from that aspect. I'll do everything in practice except for the team sessions. Coach wants to ease me in that way so that I'm not right from the get-go going from not practicing at all in the OTAs to right into the team and having guys running at you and, you react and something like that. So that's basically what it means. We're going to do 7-on-7. I'll get a lot of those reps. I'll get reps in the walkthroughs, and I'll be out there at practice doing everything except for the team sessions.
Robert, you said a couple of times already, patience is the key. You're naturally the type that wants to go 100% and do as much as you can. Personality-wise or inwardly, how difficult is that struggle to keep yourself throttled back versus the desire to want to go out there 100% all the time?
Yeah, I think it's just, it's the perspective you have to take. And, I've been an overachiever my whole life, and that's not something that I shy away from claiming or not saying that I am. I am an overachiever, but I want to make this decision as easy for everybody as possible. So whether it's coach, the doctors, the decision for me to play week 1, if they want me to be patient right now and ramp it up later, then I'm willing to do that. And they know that I'm going to be I wouldn't say compliant, but I'm going to follow those rules, follow those guidelines, do as much as I can within that. And when it's time to go full go, then I'll be ready to go.
Bro, what kind of stuff were you able to do out there today as they were going through conditioning stuff?
Yeah, we did the conditioning, and I ran with the team, so that was a good moment just to be back out there and actually be able to be around everybody without someone being afraid the NFL was going to find us. So that was good.
Hey, Robert, when you look back at last preseason, what were some of the things you were able to accomplish in preseason games that you weren't able to accomplish in practice? And then, looking forward, what's going to be the difference if you don't play in the preseason in terms of what you'll have to do when the regular season rolls around?
Yeah, I've only got 1 year of experience, and I know everybody points to that, but that 1 year was big for me. And last year in the preseason, first year in the league, it kind of got a lot of the jitters out. You get to play against those guys, and the preseason, like they say, aren't real games. But for those snaps that those guys are playing, they're playing for real. That's the way I like to look at it. So I got to get those jitters out and just feel that NFL atmosphere, whether it was a good preseason game or a bad preseason game. You get those out, and then the first game of the season we played the Saints, and it was all go from there. So this year I won't get that opportunity to get any jitters out, but I think having that 1 year of experience of playing, and there's no jitters on Monday Night Football. So
Robert, quarterbacks always talk about that development from the first to the second year and how important that is. How do you get that development without taking preseason repetitions?
I don't think the preseason actually matters that much when it comes to that. I think if you talk to a lot of the vets, they don't even like the preseason. I think that's a well-known fact. I know that, only been in the league 1 year. So I think you get that timing, those reps in practice, and that's what I'm going to get later in the preseason. So I look forward to that. But right now it's just about everybody's on the same page, and we want to make sure that we continue growing as a team. And me and Mike Shanahan's relationship is paramount to this team being successful.
So even though you're not a veteran, you feel like you can get as sharp as you need to get for week 1?
Oh yeah, I've taken as many mental reps as I possibly can. So I'll be ready to go and take the mental reps that I have to out here as well. But I'll be sharp because I know they know, and I know that I'm not going to let myself not be ready to go, not be sharp out there on the field.
Robert, what do you feel like you missed out on over the past 6.5 months?
Just that camaraderie and, with the team. It's the same thing I went through the first time. It makes you miss the game. It makes you miss your teammates. I know people might question that or say that's a pause-worthy moment. My teammates would love that. But, you just miss being out there with everybody. And, it's a special feeling being a part of a team. That's why everybody wants to play football. That's why everybody wants to make the team. It's not just about the money. It's about building those relationships with those guys. And I feel good that I got cleared to practice, and I can go back out there and do that because, standing around and watching isn't very fun. And a lot of times you can feel detached from the team. So to actually be in there and doing things with everybody and, someone not being afraid to snap me the ball because coach is going to yell at him because I'm not cleared, that makes things a lot easier.
What's the reception been like here in Richmond, and what are your thoughts on being here for camp?
No, it's been great. We've been here for a day and a half now. The fans are really excited that we're here. I think we're excited. It's going to be a lot easier transition, going to meetings and coming to practice, and just spending time, with our teammates, getting to know them a little bit better. So everybody's been real receptive, and we look forward to having everybody out here.
Hey, Rob, just to be clear, it sounds like you do not expect to play in the preseason. Is that fair to say that you don't think you're going to play?
Yeah, unless it's a necessity, then I don't think I'll play in the preseason, unless coach, says so.
Robert, how close do you feel right now to 100%? And in your mind, what's left to prove or test physically before you're game ready?
In my mind, there's nothing left to prove, and that's the way you have to approach the game when you're coming off of injury. If you pass the test and in your mind you feel like you're ready, then you're ready to go. And for me, getting to 100% is getting back out there on the field, getting out there with the guys, making football-like movements because you can't mimic those. You can't mimic instincts. When a guy's pass rushing you can't really mimic what you're going to do. You can say you're going to step up and slide to the right, but sometimes you don't do that. Sometimes you do something different. So that's what I got to get back to doing out there on the football field. And I think gradually throughout the training camp and the rest of preseason, I'll get back to that and be ready to go.
Robert, how close are you to 100%? And can you just talk about having Fred Davis and Pierre back being 100%? Can that help you in terms of making those progressions as a passer, pocket passer, with all the reps you're getting?
Yeah, that's the goal. The goal is longevity in the league. You also want to win. So as a quarterback, I don't like to conform and say that you can't win outside the pocket. I think you can win outside the pocket. You just got to be smart about it, and that's what I learned over the past 6 months about myself and just about what we need to do to win. Maybe that's keeping me in the pocket a little bit more. Maybe that's throwing the ball away a little bit more, sliding, doing all those things that are necessary. Because if it's the second game of the season, I think I proved how tough I am and the heart that I have on the football field. My teammates know that. But if it's the second game of the season and it's 3rd and 4 and I got 2 yards, I might just run out of bounds or slide if I have to. If it's a Super Bowl, I'm going to get those 2 yards. And that's just the way you have to think, and that's the way I think now. And when it comes to having Fred and Pierre, those guys back, a lot of the rookies that we got that are going to get some action now, it's just more weapons in our repertoire. And our offense is pretty good right now, but to have all those guys back, it's going to make it that much better. But you want to just do it and don't really talk about it. I don't know what number I am right now. I feel healthy. I don't know if anybody ever plays at 100%, but I don't know what the number is.
Rob, you mentioned the importance of your relationship with Mike growing for the success of the team. Where are you guys now? What do you have to do to continue to improve that relationship?
No, I think we're on the same page. When we sat down and talked about what I was going to do in training camp and the weeks to follow, it was a good moment for me because all the hard work that I had paid off, and they're going to allow me to get back out there and do what I do, and that's play football and lead and just have fun with the guys. So I think we're on the same page right now, and we all made mistakes last season. We all understand that. We've all talked about it, and it's time to move on. We're moving forward and hopefully moving up, to a Super Bowl.
We'll take a few more. We got London waiting. All right, so Paul, what do you? Robert, I just want to be clear. What is it you'll do tomorrow? What will you do in the next couple of days when practice is held?
Yeah, I'll do everything as far as individual drills. I'll get to take snaps with the centers, do drills with the running backs and the wide receivers. I'll do 7-on-7. I'll get to do a little bit of the walkthrough, that we have. It's not a 2-a-day, but it's kind of a 2-a-day. And then after that, whenever there's 11-on-11 drills, they're going to keep me out of those.
Robert Griffin III says he will not play in the preseason, quote, unless it's a necessity. More on RG3 and what we do need to see from him.